Speaking of uneducated people, really disturbing, alternately disturbing and hilarious segment from CNN on a UConn college student, very prominent university, the University of Connecticut, a UConn college student who is illiterate.
In some ways, Aleysha Ortiz is living an American dream. The 19-year-old began her freshman year at the University of Connecticut in Hartford this fall. She's excited to study public policy, the culmination of hard work after moving north from Puerto Rico as a child.
Do you remember when you first came to Connecticut?
Yes, I remember I was very nervous, but I know it was going to be better opportunities for me to learn.
But Aleysha says those opportunities never came to fruition.
Even today, could you read this, or would it take you a long time?
It's impossible. I just see his words everywhere.
Aleysha graduated from the Hartford public school system last year, but she says today she is illiterate. She still doesn't know how to read or write.
The layers of this story, it's almost impossible to process. A girl not only graduated from high school, but is currently enrolled at a prominent college without being able to read or write. In reality, you should not be able to go to college if you are not seriously, uncommonly intelligent and inclined toward education. I know today we live in this time where we're told everyone has to go to college and you'll have a terrible life if you don't go to college. For the first, 900 years of education, that is not how we thought about universities. The only people who went to college to receive a liberal arts education were people who were uncommonly intelligent, and that's just a thing you're kind of born with, and on top of that, uncommonly inclined toward education, toward the liberal arts, toward reading great books, toward abstract thinking about subjects that are not directly applicable. There are plenty of people who are super intelligent who are not inclined toward those things, who just want to go out and start a business, who just want to go out and learn a trade, which is fine. The university was not for them. There are all sorts of things you can do with your life. That's what education was for. That's what higher education was for. We have now degraded universities so much that you can matriculate at a major university without knowing how to read. Not just without having read Tolstoy, not just without having read the entire corpus of Shakespeare. No. Without having read ever a single word, because you can't. How did that happen? Well, because she graduated from high school. How did she graduate from high school without being able to read? You should be able to read in the second grade. When I was a kid, now I think you're supposed to read in pre-K or something. How did that happen? Because our whole education system is fake. That's how. I'll tell you exactly how it happened. I will tell you exactly the process, but it all comes down to our education system being totally fake. Our whole education system is fake. We flatter ourselves. We say we're the most educated people ever. I remember when I was in high school, a teacher, wonderful teacher actually, said, you guys know more than Aristotle did. You guys know more than Plato did. And it's easy to believe that because we have iPhones and Google and doodads. But we're not actually. We're much less educated. It's very easy to hear politicians say, you guys are graduating college at a higher rate than any generation before you, the most educated generation ever. No, it's just that college doesn't mean anything anymore, necessarily. Graduating high school doesn't mean anything anymore, necessarily. We hear all of this stuff about, the first generation college graduate, what an impressive accomplishment. But unfortunately, it's not. I don't mean to be cruel. I don't really want to yuck on anyone's yum or rain on anyone's parade. But it doesn't mean, a college degree does not mean the same thing it meant 50 years ago. A high school degree doesn't mean the same thing it meant 50 years ago. Through the desire to improve people's lot, regardless and totally untethered from any of the underlying realities of improvement, we've just destroyed those institutions. You cannot improve people through sheer tyranny of will. It's not possible. I came here for a better life from Puerto Rico. I thought I'd have all this opportunity, but I don't. No, it's not. You did have opportunity. You just didn't take it. and you weren't engaged with it, and the educational institutions lowered their standards to try to engage in the social experiment, and it failed everybody. So it's all just pretend. It's all just pretend. I know there's students who are in graduate school now. I've interacted directly and indirectly with some of them. These kids should not have graduated from the 7th grade. They don't know how to write an English sentence. So what does that mean for the rest of us? Does that mean you shouldn't go to college? No, maybe you go to college if you can make something out of it. But it certainly doesn't mean you have to go to college. These things don't mean anything. It is not enough merely to have the appearance of the thing. Some person who can't spell his own name holding up a college degree, smiling like a buffoon on camera. Look at this. I graduated college. No, you didn't. Not really. It doesn't. You got to have the goods, man. You got to have the goods. There's really no shortcut to it. And the social engineers in our government are going to pretend that you can circumvent all of the difficulties to have a good society, but you can't. You actually have to do the stuff. That was a great clip. Now stop, ring the bell, subscribe, do it, please. Come on, subscribe. Thank you.